afternoon, Opal. How are you this afternoon? The lady from the country with all the excitement, land of excitement.
Hi, I'm doing very wonderful, Vernon. How are you doing?
Well, it's always good to have an old friend back. Lord, I have to careful I call you old, I might get myself into trouble. And by the way, have you been checking how long we've been working together? It's a long time.
Oh, I know for years, very much
Yes.
years. If we go ahead and let them know that we're definitely going to be coined as being very old.
Ah, yes. And every time you come on this radio program, I've heard of other persons getting themselves into problems. I've heard of people invest their monies and have lost it all. And I keep saying, if only they listened to the radio programs that I do, they certainly would not have gone there. Persons who give their money to so-called organizations that tell them that they can get them to go to the United States. If only they were listening to a program like this and listening to Opal Lee. But Opal, I will tell you something. We just have to keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. Now, some will not listen, but don't worry. There are few who will listen and learn and seek help and seek guidance. But every time I hear it, and it happens in immigration matters and also for financial matters. Every now and again, I hear somebody losing 12 million US, 10 million this. And I said, my God. Well, I don't lose that for two reasons. I don't have them that kind of money. That's one. And two, I do a program like this where I learn from people like you. I'm making a special appeal to people in this country across the world that spend some time and listen to radio, which is informative, which can empower you. Because if you're not empowered, you'll end up making some stupid mistakes and you'll pay dearly for it. What's on your
Yeah.
mind this day, Opal?
Right, but on that point though, Vernon, because that's a very good point, especially with this immigration climate and what's going on in the United States right
Yes,
now, there are a lot of people who are very desperate, and there are a lot of people who are taking advantage of that situation and
desperate. That's the
charging
word.
charging people some ridiculous money. And not only that, if they were charging them the money and giving them results and getting
Yes.
them sorted out and getting them to become permanent residents, it would be bad and not so bad, right? If they're charging these money. But to con them, I'm going to use the word con because that's exactly what it is. I
Yes.
remember seeing articles and seeing people who are paying like $30,000. How are you going to be paying $30,000 to
That's
somebody
small
who's
money,
not
man. They
even
pay more than that.
US dollars, who is not even an attorney at law? And if I was supposed to even charge somebody one third of that,
They're
they
not
would say,
even
where I'm
Obia man,
supposed to get that.
Opal. Not even a good Obia man.
They would say they don't have that money. And so
Yes.
they'll go to people who promise them a dream, and they pay it wherever they get that money from, they pay it. And that's just not right. But what's on my mind today is with what's going on right now in the immigration climate. A lot of people have been saying, that I'm not worried because I'm not a criminal. I don't have any criminal act. They need to
Yes.
be reminded, and I know I've stated this before, but I have to remind them that that the current administration is basically making it
Hmm.
clear that if you are undocumented, you're unlawful, you
Hmm.
are a criminal. So they're treating everybody, the press secretary
Oh,
basically
let me hear that
stated
again, Opal. I don't know if I hear it too well. If you are what?
the official policy of
Yes.
this administration is that all undocumented immigrants are criminals.
All undocumented individuals are criminals.
Immigrants, all
Immigrants.
undocumented immigrants
Immigrants are
are
criminals.
criminals. So don't think that you're safe because you simply came across the board and you didn't kill anybody, you didn't have any gun charges, because that's what some people think. So they're thinking that they're safe and nobody's going to go after
Hmm.
them. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. And so, if you had a removal order placed before on you before, you're in
Right?
danger. If you have friends or family member who
Mm.
don't like you and know about your immigration status, you're in danger because they're snitching. There are people sending and letting USCIS, letting ICE know about your whereabouts, and that's how ICE sometimes are showing up at your doorsteps, even though you may have not been in removal proceedings before.
That point you made a while ago is very important. If you have friends or even relatives, I know of a situation where a lady had got into some problems with her sister-in-law, and it is her sister-in-law who made some adverse reports on her, and she lost her visa, visitor's visa. So you'll be surprised to know what friends, so-called friends and relatives will do out of spite and bad mind.
True, that's true. I've been seeing so many reports where friends, family members, and a matter of fact, even people who are trying to win cases in even family cases. So your
Ah,
significant other in trying to
yes,
get an edge on that. If they want the children and have want children all to themselves or the child for custody matters, send immigration on you.
I see. What a thing. What do you do though when you have your children in the United States and you're undocumented? If you decide to come back, who know? You have to go to court to get those children to travel with you. Am I right? How would that
Correct. You would
work?
need a court order if you and the person or the other
Yes.
parent are not on speaking terms, then of course you're going to need to get a court order to get that done.
I keep begging people when you have that kind of problem, listen, man, you all, even if you can't stand your other half, try and work it out because to have to be going to court and fighting. And after a while, the youngsters become them, they're adults and they probably even abandon both of you. So what you're fighting for, is waste of time. It's just
Hmm.
amazing.
And I did on there was on while we're on the travel talk thing, and I did a
Yes.
video as well that's on our Instagram page at Flowjam Legal because I saw
I
some
have a problem with that you don't say it to me first.
yeah, no, but some TikToker people were saying something, and some clients had asked me to do a video on it, so I did it. But
Yes.
it's basically people are saying that when they are if they are dual citizens, let's say you're a citizen of Jamaica and the
Right.
U.S. When traveling to the United to Jamaica, they're saying that if you use your U.S. passport to enter into that country, when you try to re-enter the U.S., they're going to take away your U.S. passport. That's
Really?
rubbish. That is wrong. That is a lie. That's not true. As a United States citizen and if you have dual citizenship, when you're leaving the U.S., yes, you should present your U.S. passport. When you're returning the U.S., you must present your U.S. passport to re-enter. However, when you're entering the country of your origin or the country that you were born or the country that
Yes.
you have another passport, you go ahead and you have the option of either presenting your US passport or the passport for that country. So, for example, you're a Jamaican citizen and you're a US citizen. When you leave in the US, you give the airline your US passport. When you land in Jamaica, you give the customs persons your Jamaican or the immigration person in Jamaica. You can give them your US passport or you can give them your Jamaican passport. If you give them your US passport, they're going to give you a deadline for when you're supposed to leave the Jamaica, right? Because you're entering as a U.S. citizen. But you can also give them your Jamaican passport. That way, you will have no time limits as to when you need to
Right.
leave. So
Right.
that is false. That's a fake news for whoever has been spreading that on TikTok. If you present your U.S. passport in Jamaica, no, 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 your U.S. passport is not going to be taken away from you.
Hmm.
And the other thing, real quick, is about the I-407. I've spoken about this before, where if you're entering the United States and you're a permanent resident and you're one of them who travel very frequently or spend a little bit of time in the US, or you travel to the US and only spend 2 weeks, and then you go to Jamaica, for example, and spend 4 months, 5 months, then yes, when you enter Customs and Border Patrol is when you're entering back to the US, they're going to say, listen, it looks like you're traveling here as a visitor. So why not just give back this green card? And so sign right here, sign right here, sign right here, and give back the green card, and then just go back to Jamaica or your country of origin and apply
Yes.
for a visiting visa. I've always, from day one, tell people if you're a permanent resident, you do not need to sign not one document at the US airport. Never ever sign anything. Do not sign anything. Nobody can force you to sign anything. You have the right to speak with an attorney. And so you want to make sure that an attorney look at everything that before you sign it. So no, don't sign it. They may take the green card from you and put you in place in removal proceedings, but you will get your day in court where you can present and go with an attorney like myself or an
Yes.
attorney of your choosing who would then present your defenses. But don't just give up your green card like that, because there may be reasons why it is that you're spending more time in Jamaica or your country of origin right now. Maybe you're tying
Exactly.
up some loose ends. So you need to make sure you do not sign any documents.
So basically what you're saying, don't panic. And if you know you're
Exactly.
going to panic, seek help. Find a professional. You're at the airport, don't fight because a big man talking. That's what we call him. Say, a big man are talking. Don't panic. Seek help. As a matter of fact, if I were in the States and have a green card, I'd make sure that the number that I have right away, yeah, include the doctor's number too, is my immigration consultant. Make sure you have that number on you. Just the same if you're on the road driving, you need to have your wrecking service on your phone. Make sure you have your immigration lawyer's number. And last oil on this one, time has slipped by. I gather that there are persons who are impersonating ICE and stopping people. Can you
Yes,
imagine
I've
that?
seen that.
Yes.
So they have to be
Anyhow,
very, very careful.
just tell us how we can, any final point? Just tell us how we can make contact with you openly.
Thank you as always, Vernon. So for Opal Lee, our phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may go to our website, www.flowjamlegal.com. That's www.flojamlegal.com. Thanks as always, Vernon, and enjoy the rest of your day.
And while you're here, I'll make a final appeal to my listeners. If you know that you're undocumented, you heard what Opal said, can make sure she listens to me so I don't misunderstand and misinterpret it. With this administration, you're treated as if you're a criminal. Make sure you contact an immigration lawyer immediately. Now, just find a
Mm-hmm.
criminal lawyer, you know, an immigration lawyer immediately. You're at the airport and they say, listen, why you're not staying here? And they ask you to sign a document. Do not panic. If you know you will panic, make sure you have your immigration lawyer number written down. I'm saying this thing, Opal, like I'm doing an advertisement because I keep on
Sure.
saying, and you have to understand that, Opal, that the same way products advertise every day, of time 2, 3, 4 times a day. The information that we have, yes, you gave it last week and the week before, but we need to keep on giving it and giving it and giving it because it's like an advertisement. My sister,
That's very true.
yes, thank you very much. You have a wonderful day. You continue to serve your country, Jamaica, land you love. All the best.
Thank you,
And although
Vernon.
you are there, I know you think and love this country, but sometimes they so take away your problem because I think you're here more often than you.
Thanks as always, Vernon. Have a
All
good
right, take care.
one.
Have a wonderful day.